Durag Wisdom, ladies and gentlemen, and this is Y2K 19.05.14. We have to teach everyone that they should not be defining deviancy down. What I mean by that is, ladies and gentlemen and friends, is we're allowing a traitorous Putin creep, Trump, to define our way of life down, down, down to the sewer. The behavior that he exhibits, the defying Congress, all this other crap, taking us out of the climate accords, the decisions, what he's doing with Yemen and the Middle East, everything else. He's making us look like idiots in the front of the whole world, breaking up our country. Putin wants all this. He's doing Putin's job. He's defining deviancy down. Well, we're in a cold civil war right now. And what does that mean for me personally? I am not going to go to states that support this creep. I mean, how can I go to a state, for example, that supports the separation of children from their parents? Building of these concentration detention camps. How can I support a law in Georgia, if they have their way, that if a woman decides, okay, if you're not going to let me have an abortion in this state, I'm going to go to another state, and they want to pursue this woman and put her up for murder for deciding what to do with her body and what's in it. Imagine pursuing a woman who leaves a state like Georgia to go and have an abortion in New York, and you get pursued by agents from Georgia who will bring you back, to the state to have you tried and maybe put in prison for life or even executed because you dared to do something with your body. You aborted a fetus, baby fetus. It's like the Fugitive Slave Act. This is a civil war we're having. These are states that want to extend their authority outside of their territories to pursue women who get abortions, like Georgia and Ohio, Alabama. They are Trumpists. They're defining deviancy down. They're making of our country something it isn't, and they should be punished by my not going there and giving them my tourist dollars. And I spend a lot of money when I travel. Trump is the enemy of everything that we stand for. Now, if people are intent on supporting this goon, that's their right. You want to be a Trumpist now? You want to support this goon? That's okay. You're free. This is America. You're free. But if you and yours run a club or a restaurant, a public restaurant, and you have signs in there, I love Trump, I'm not going there to eat. Right, that's a business. And if you're a whole state where no one in that state is standing up to this evil, because just because a Republican Trumpist wins the state, when he does something evil, or when she does something evil in the state, everybody should stand up against it. Just like they should have stood up against the Nazis. But they didn't. I take this threat seriously. This is, once again, a cold civil war. So I'm not shooting anybody, but I'm not going to their state where they're denying a woman the right to choose, where they're creating a Handmaid's Tale situation, or where they're denying people the right to vote, or where they're denying people the right to be whatever they want to be, to marry who they want to marry. I can't support states who are going the Trumpist way, who are kowtowing to these religious extremist maggots, who are trying to make of our country a theocracy, a totalitarian theocracy. Over my dead body. Over my dead body. You religious extremist mother effers. So yeah, the bottom line, yeah, it's breaking up our country in a way. And that is ultimately what Putin wants. At the same time, I can't just go along on my day and say, oh, I'm going to go visit Georgia now. They want to convict women of murdering their fetuses. Or I go to Florida where they're going to allow school teachers, and I was a school teacher, to have weapons, guns, firearms. That we have an absolute enemy in our White House. An absolute enemy. Absolute. So if there's a state here in this country that wants to support him and go along with his Trumpist, traitorous agenda, I will not go there. I will not give them any of my hard-earned money. You want to take away my free country? You want to be a Trumpist? Then you are my enemy. And right now it's a cold civil war, so we're not allowed to shoot each other yet. But give it time. Give it time. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tweets away. Now, Elizabeth Warren, she's making a huge mistake not going to the Fox Town Hall. Here we go. Like, I agree, this is America. And in that case, you're going to a town hall sponsored by a, quote, media station. Yes, a propaganda media station, but there's a lot of people out there, clueless people who are watching it, that she has a chance to get in touch with. Elizabeth Warren, you just lost my vote. And I love you too. I wear your t-shirts. But you go everywhere to debate. Know that our tax money is paying for the Barr investigation of the investigation. The investigation of the investigators. This Cheeto creep believes that an impeachment and investigation will benefit him on election day. Well, I don't vote for Nazis. I don't vote for creeps that separate families, that make sure children will never see their parents again. I don't vote for people who put babies in cages, children in cages, shits all over our environment and our national parks, our Holy Land national parks, our public lands, because there's only one Holy Lands, right? In the middle freaking east. This entire planet is holy. This entire planet is holy. And the Trumpist goons and the Putinists are to be all over it. Any state that supports this Trump, that does things to persecute women, or anybody, or any group, that tolerates firearms every place you can imagine, that is not my USA. And anyone who supports this creep Trump is supporting the downfall of our country and its possession eventually by these Putinist creeps over my dead body. F Putin! It's one thing to go to a town hall to debate, which everybody should do. I don't care what station, what media group is sponsoring it. If you're running for an office, you go there and debate. Elizabeth Warren, do you hear me? You go there and you debate. You do what you have to do in your town hall. Because there are victims there who need to hear you. But when it comes to these states who want my tourist dollars, if they support Trump, if they support his agenda, they are on my list. They are Bane. They will never see my tourist dollars until they one day and hopefully reject Trumpist traitor totalitarianism.